Adults moving back home with their parents isn't new, but we've seen a resurgence during the coronavirus pandemic. Local financial professional Mike Kojonen from Principal Preservation Services has tips on how parents can help their adult children without jeopardizing their retirement. So Mike, why are adult children moving back in with their parents?
Yeah, with this whole coronavirus pandemic, it's really affected our lives in unimaginable ways, things that we couldn't, fathom before. But right now, half of millennials have either they lost their job or they've had less income since March. And, on top of that, that younger generation, they have, less money in savings. They have a college debt that's, could be as high as 30,000 or more. And right now, 27 million adults have actually moved in with their parents recently. And so it's a topic we just really need to address because of these issues.
So what should parents be doing when it comes to managing their finances if their adult children have moved in back home?
Yeah, right off the bat is get your expectations right off the bat. Clarify your expectations because, right now 2/3 of the parents are paying for some of their children's finances, the ones who already had moved back in home. So if you have right off the start, this little talk or a signed agreement between you and your adult children now, what are your expectations? Are they going to be able to pay for some of the rent, pay some money or utilities or food? What is it? And when is the move out date? That's important as well. I've heard too many stories with this indefinite end to the children living at home. And they thought would be a 3 to 6 month ordeal has turned into a 2-year ordeal. So you have to put that into that agreement as well. I think it's important to put that in writing, but also as a parent, it's good to let your children know what your situation is without having to get the detailed numbers, because maybe when they moved out, you were working, but now you're retired and now you're on a fixed income and your income's lower. You have to let them know that you don't have the ability to do what you could do before. Or even if you're not retired, what if you're on a strict financial plan with your advisor that says in the next 2 to 5 years, you're putting a lot more money in retirement and you're cracking down on debt. So when you can retire when you want to, and you don't have those extra funds. So just create those expectations.
And it sounds like that rolls into your next point about making sure that your children learn to be a bit more financially independent.
Yeah, I think this is a good parent, child lesson right now. You get a reset. I think this is to turn this into a positive ordeal that you can sit down with your adult child now and pull a budget worksheet off my website. We always have them on there, and just redo a budget because they were able to live on their own for a while, but now they had to come back. And so let's create a budget based off your current income and teach them ways to do that. Because most likely, like majority of Americans, they haven't done a budget. So sit down and help them create that budget as well, which kind of leads into topic number 3 is, consider your own needs, because you don't want to just be giving them money for nothing. We teach our children, you don't get paid for chores and you don't get allowances. If you want extra money, you have to do extra things. And maybe you have the ability to help your children with some money, but they have to earn it. So give them some expectations with that as well. But don't jeopardize your retirement by taking money out of your IRA, your 401k, to give them money, because you're not teaching them anything if they haven't earned it. For example, I had a client, the real estate bubble, the last major bubble we had back in 2007 and 9. I had a client that pulled a lot of money out of their IRAs to give to their children to postpone foreclosure, get them out of their house, losing their house to foreclosure. Well, didn't recommend doing it. They did it anyways. What happened? A year later, the kids lost their house anyways. So not only the house is gone, the money's gone, and now they have to work another 5 more years to make up what they did. So don't jeopardize your retirement by helping out a temporary situation.
They also then missed out on a surge in the stock market just a couple years later where that money would have just been building.
Yeah, exactly. You're right on. They probably would have doubled their money in that 5 years.
Which makes sense that maybe having these conversations, not just within your family, but with someone with the expertise on how to move forward might be a good idea.
Yeah, we are referred a lot of children by our clients. Typical average age is in their 60s typically, but we get a lot of the children are referred to us to help them out with this. Sometimes you need to get that financial professional help, somebody who looks at this on a regular basis that can help you understand the basics of finances and budgeting. And sometimes we have both parent and child come in our office just so we can mediate and help them understand what the parent can do and what they can do, and so they can see things eye to eye. you have to sometimes get a professional involved. So it's okay. Put us, the advisors, as the blame. Why you can't financially help your children. We'll take the blame for that.
Well, yeah, tough times indeed. Of course, parents want to help their children out, but finding that common ground, I think, is what you're wanting to help them achieve as well.
100% agree. It's hard because emotionally we want to help our children, but also just helping them with a situation without them learning through this is not going to help them at all either.
All right. Well, thank you as always, Mike. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Take care, Jeff.
For more tips from Mike, go to WCCO.com.